All right, welcome back. Here we are live, Microsoft Flight Simulator career mode with NeoFly, episode number 13. We're on day 19 of our career, so we're still just in the beginning of our journey here with NeoFly. So we're currently in Oregon. We're going to do a short trip in Oregon. We got a lot of big updates to go here, so we're going to get this thing started. I already have the flight plan here laid out. We're going to be going from 2S7 over to KLMT. And we're going to start off on the runway this time because we got a lot of updates to go over. Oh, we got Phoenix at the door. He wants to go out.
Good day, pilot. We have a lot of excited passengers ready to board today. Let me know when you are ready for them.
All right.
Captain, we have opened the gates for boarding. The passengers are on their way.
All right. Phoenix is out. We got a passenger mission here where we're going to be taking 3 passengers. Reward small because the distance is small. I just wanted to keep this one short because I got to prepare for some other work to do this morning. So, the first update that I'll give is we're going to be in a different airplane here. So we're going to utilize our Class C certification that we got the other day.
Looks like everyone is on board, pilot. Let's get out of here.
We are in a Cessna 170 or Cessna 208B. A little bigger airplane, seats a little more. We're currently renting this one out, and the C172 that we own, we hired a new pilot. We hired a new pilot for that. I'll get more into that later, but we were going to increase our flaps here. It looks like the flaps are 0, 15 degrees, or 30. So let's take a look at the inside here. Let's get acquainted with this. This is not a G1000 that's in the 172. This, I believe, is the G3000. So a little different setup here. We're going to get our flight procedures going here. We don't have too many hours in this plane, so we're going to have to get used to everything here. So everything's going to be moved around. First thing we're going to do is set our heading here. Make sure of that for safety. Our flight plan today is set for 6,500 feet in elevation. So we're going to adjust for that. There we go. All right, and we're just going to get some knobs ready here. So we're going to turn the flight director on. That's that pink line there. We got, let's zoom in here and see what we got. All right, there's autopilot, there's alt hold mode, or vertical adjustment. Oh, that's neat. It's a knob this time. We're definitely going to be utilizing that. And we got our hold heading. And then where's our nav? Our nav mode is over there. So that should turn on to the GPS when we fly those types of missions. And our flight plan is set for VFR today so that I don't have too much interaction with ATC, so that I can go over a bunch of updates that we did. So G1000 here, we are going to take off here and give this thing a test fly. So first flight with the 203B. So let's get this thing going. We're going to be departing from runway number 17 over at 2S7. And we're going to be heading over to runway number 14 over at KLMT. So we're going to release the parking brake. We got our passengers. And we're going to get this thing going. Let's see how fast this thing can go. Should be a little faster. Our throttle's in the middle this time. So we're gonna sit here. All right, approaching the end of the runway. We're gonna lift off.
Bon voyage, air crew. We hope to see you again soon.
No, we definitely do want that up. All right, so let's see. Since we don't really know where the buttons are. All right, there is autopilot, nav mode, turns on GPS. Where's the FLC? We didn't look for that. FLC mode is on. Alright, so we are adjusted for our flight plan here. We're full throttle, climbing to 6,500 feet, currently at 55. Alright, so my update. We're going to continue to look for an area for our home base. I'm thinking about moving our pilot over to Alaska to do so. I'm going to scout out that area for one. The second thing that I got to do is actually learn how to lay an airport in developer mode. So we're going to be looking for that over the next few days. And then we advanced and rented this plane, Class C Cessna 208B, and we hired a new pilot to run the plane that we owned before that we were flying around with, the C172. So to give you the other pilot updates, Hurricane, I actually stopped renting the plane that she was in. That was the 330, and we rented a new plane for her. That's the P6 or PC6. So we're renting out that plane for her. She'll be able to make a little more money doing that, because the passenger load is a lot higher. So we're going to throw her in there, and she's actually up in the air right now and doing her thing. So. And then we also hired a flight attendant for her too. Since the passenger carry load is a lot higher, we're going to hire a flight attendant so that they can do the safety instructions and whatnot, and keep the earnings up there as well. And then the other thing, let's see. Yeah, so the other thing was with Berlin, we got him a Class B certification. So we're going to look to move him into a Class B plane over the next few days as well. So he's currently flying in a Class A. So we're going to upgrade him to a different plane and do that. So, and then speaking of Berlin, we spent, I think it was like $7,000. We had to repair the hull on the X-Cub that he's flying right now. So, yeah, I told you that he got the Class B certification. And then I indicated that we hired a new pilot, Kasper, to run the plane that we own, that we used to fly, the C172. And so we still own it 100%. We paid for it outright. Now we just got somebody flying it for us. So pull this over, and if we go to the pilots here, to the pilots that we actually own, this is Kasper down here. He's on his first flight, giving our plane a test drive, and we're going there. So let's see. Let's keep an eye on the flight here since this plane is still new to me. Our estimated time there is 3.5 minutes. Is that for the full flight? Are we almost done already? Because we are coasting at 170 knots. So we'll be able to go on, cover more ground, I think, if we're almost done with this flight, because I haven't even gotten through all our updates. All right, yeah, so we're moving along here. So let's see, let's knock out some more updates here, because we are cruising probably almost, we used to cruise at like 101, now we're doing 160 something. Finance update, We're currently sitting on just over 2 million in cash. Our net book value for our assets for the planes that we own is 177,000. That's the C172, which brings our total assets and equity, which are the same because we're doing this without debt. We're not taking out a loan so far. 2.7 million. And then the funds that we need in order to advance for future stuff that we're looking at for the home base. We're looking at $1.765 million in cash that we need in order to lay all that stuff down. The hangar, the office, the maintenance building, the fuel stations, the parking, the lights on the runway with an asphalt runway that's large. So 1.7 million there. And then I did this because I know I wanted to move into a Class C plane, just didn't know which one. So I weighed out the cost of owning one versus renting one. And we went with the rental option, $2 million in cash that we need, that we're currently sitting at, to rent this plane and build the home base. So cash, although it seems like we have a lot, it goes fast when you're looking to drop 1.7, almost $1.8 million on a home base. So beautiful area here in Oregon. Let's just go ahead and enjoy the view for the rest of the trip here. Go ahead and look at the inside of the plane here. So there's all the passenger seating. Looks like 2, 4, 6, 8 passengers plus the one for the co-pilot. Alright, we're going to start with this. Our runway sits at 4,000 feet. So we can go ahead and start our descent here. That's how quick this flight went when you're in something that goes 170 knots. So we're going to adjust our altitude setting down here to, we'll start with 5,800. We're going to go to FLC mode. We're going to reduce our throttle. We're going to increase our rate of speed. Because that's the runway up there already. And then I'm going to pull back on the throttle here. We're going to try to take care of the plane as much as we can. We're going to deploy flaps, increase our throttle back up to adjust for the extra drag. We're going to announce our landing. So we'll select the airport. Reduce our throttle here, then we're going to take off autopilot. We're taking full control for this landing. Checking the speed. Making sure we got wheels down. Alright, so we're still here in Oregon. I do like Oregon. Still keeping that as a possibility for the home base. I'm going to try to walk away with a smooth landing here for our first flight in the Cessna Class C. So I'm sure we'll get used to this airplane. A little different setup here with the G3000. I'm going to cut our throttle.
We have touchdown.
That was probably a pretty soft landing.
Taxi to parking and shut down your engine.
Alright, we will taxi to parking here. The tower is over to the left, but the all the parking's over to the right. So we're going to take taxiway number B. Let's see how the turning is on this. Alright, ground steering, not too bad. Yeah, it's a little tight on the turns. It's definitely a little different than the Cessna 172. So we got a little more. We'll acknowledge ATC there to contact ground.
121.9 Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra. Goodbye.
We'll contact ground. Request for parking.
Kingsley Ground Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf
They're going to say take B to A. Possibly C. Nice little plane here. Landing is definitely doable. Just got to get used to the ground steering. I think it takes a little bit more distance. Takes a little more distance to make a turn.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Bravo Alpha cross runway 14 Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
Alright, we're going to bust up, make a right-hand turn here. Get a good look at the airport. Yeah, that turn, you got to make a wide turn. Very maneuverable here. So beautiful country though. You got the mountains in the background. We're at the airport. Partly cloudy skies. Nothing better than a good flight. So we're gonna go ahead. Take a look at those Boeings up there. Some smaller jets. Alright, we'll take this spot over here. Crew, actually, let's go over this way. There's more parking right over here. So we'll park down by this one so that we're not in the way of the big 747s over there. So, boom. That's set. That's set. Oh, we don't even know how to turn this plane off. Let's look for the ignition here. Where is the ignition? Actually, you know what? If we look at our engine condition, cut off.
Transporter.
There you go, we found it.
Disembarkation in progress. Stand by.
Oh, that's a nice sound for the engine cut off. So we gotta still look for, so that's our engine cut off, engine condition. We gotta look for our avionics still, and our battery. So there's our battery, there's the alternator. So it's trip on, reset.
Transporter. Disembarking finished. Have a nice day.
Batteries off. We'll pull over this to see what our landing.
Start your engine now.
So if we look at our log here now, that landing was minus 173. So, or 137. Apparently I got dyslexic this morning. So 18-minute flight, 26 miles. Definitely a lot faster to get there, so we'll be able to cover more ground in our flights. And yeah, so appreciate you tuning in. Hope you appreciate the updates, and we'll see you on the next one.